What's going on, party people? It's Saturday, and that means it's another edition of the Poem of the Day. So when I woke up this morning, I had a handful of different poems I was thinking about doing for today's reading, and I was so close to picking a poem by Tracy Smith, who was the poet laureate, I believe, from 2017 to 2019 or 2018 to 2019. And then I came across another poem called The Gift, and while we were hanging out with our little guy, my wife sent me a poem by Tracy Smith, and it was a different poem than I was planning on reading or considering reading, and so I thought, no pun intended, the stars had kind of aligned, and so I decided I'm going to read the poem that my wife texted over to me. It's a really cool poem. Her collection is called Life on Mars, which, if you shout out both to my wife, who's amazing, obviously, and to Mr. Martin in particular as well, because this collection, there's so many poems in there inspired by David Bowie. And so this poem is a little longer than some of the other poems I've read. But it's really cool, and it has three little movements, multiple stanzas, but three numbered movements, sections within the poem. And it does this really cool, this really cool sort of homage to David Bowie in a spiritual, almost religious way, if not an overt spiritual and religious way. So I am going to avoid these little pesky flying around things, beach gnats or whatever they are, and I'm going to read you this poem called Don't You Wonder Sometimes by Tracy Smith. 1. After dark, stars glisten like ice, and the distance they span hides something elemental. Not God exactly, more like some thin-hipped, glittering Bowie being, a starman or cosmic ace, hovering, swaying, aching to make us see. And what would we do, you and I, if we could know for sure that someone was there squinting through the dust, saying nothing is lost, that everything lives on waiting only to be wanted back badly enough? Would you go then, even for a few nights, into that other life where you and that first she loved, blind to the future once and happy? Would I put on my coat and return to the kitchen where my mother and father sit waiting, dinner keeping warm on the stove? Bowie will never die. Nothing will come for him in his sleep or charging through his veins, and he'll never grow old, just like the woman you lost, who will always be dark-haired and flush-faced, running toward an electronic screen that clocks the minutes, the miles left to go. Just like the life in which I'm forever a child, looking out my window at the night sky, thinking one day I'll touch the world with bare hands, even if it burns. 2. He leaves no tracks. Slips past, quick as a cat. That's Bowie for you. The Pope of Pop, coy as Christ. Like a play within a play, he's trademarked twice. The hours plink past like water from a window AC. We sweat it out, teach ourselves to wait. Silently, lazily, collapse happens. But not for Bowie. He cocks his head, grins that wicked grin. Time never stops, but does it end? And how many lives before takeoff, before we find ourselves beyond ourselves, all glam glow, all twinkle and gold? The future isn't what it used to be. Even Bowie thirsts for something good and cold. Jets blink across the sky like migratory souls. 3. Bowie is among us, right here in New York City, in a baseball cap and expensive jeans, ducking into a deli, flashing all those teeth at the doorman on his way back up. Or he's hailing a taxi on Lafayette as the sky clouds over at dusk. He's in no rush. Doesn't feel the way you'd think he feels. doesn't strut or gloat, tells jokes. I've lived here all these years and never seen him, like not knowing a comet from a shooting star. But I'll bet he burns bright, dragging a tail of white-hot matter, the way some of us track tissue back from the toilet stall. He's got the whole world under his foot, and we are small alongside. Though there are occasions when a man his size can meet your eyes for just a blip of time and send a thought like shine, 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 shine straight to your mind. Bowie, I want to believe you. Want to feel your will like the wind before rain. The kind everything simply obeys, swept up in that hypnotic dance as if something with the power to do so had looked its way and said, go ahead. This is a really cool poem. A really, really cool poem. And it's 3 movements. So much going on there. It's fun to read. It's fun to listen to. It's fun to hear. Yeah, it's there's a lot I think that's resonating and kind of speaking to me about all the stuff that's around us right now, and it's cool having such a beautifully written poem about someone who kind of both defied labeling and you know, transcended labeling and genre, and wasn't as much a rock star as he was, you know, like a shooting star, as the poem alludes to. So thank you as always for listening, and you know, even though it's the weekend, doesn't mean we won't do another poem of the day tomorrow. So take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, be good to yourselves, get outside if you can, wash your hands, and we will see you again tomorrow for another poem of the day. Take care.